Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Live at the Waterhole with myself, Chad Hobson, and I'm going to be your naturalist for the show today. I hope everybody's had a fantastic weekend, and hopefully the Monday is off to a good start. And if it's not, hopefully from now it's going to get better. And just a reminder to everybody that this is a live and interactive show, so please do send through your questions and comments. If you would like to subscribe, you can do so on our website. Or if you would just like to join the conversation, you can do so on X using the hashtag WildEarth. So we are starting out here at beautiful Jamala. It always seems to be where we start out. It's always something happening around the waterhole. We've got some impalas. This looks like two bachelor impalas, a small herd of zebra, and then a beautiful elephant bull. And I'm sure throughout the show there's going to be other interesting things that come down to all the different locations. So as this elephant bull does come down to where he's going to drink, why don't we quickly have a look at the weather, the different locations. So it does seem like it's a great day all over for South Africa. It does seem like it is raining up in northern KwaZulu-Natal. Saw that it was raining at Tembe. But otherwise, it seems like it's going to be a hot and humid day all over southern Africa. Michelle, good morning to you. You're looking forward to some cool sightings this morning. I also really do hope we have some cool sightings during the show. You just never know what's going to appear, and that's one of the beauties of it. We've got a number of different locations that we are able to cross to, and we're keeping an eye out on all of them to see what does come down. So I'm sure in the next little while there'll be some interesting things that we'll be able to see. Quite a large herd of zebra that's come down to drink, and I think there's some more elephants coming down, if I'm not mistaken, down that prominent game trail to the left-hand side. No, it's not elephant. It looks like maybe wildebeest. Yeah, it's a small herd of wildebeest that's coming down to drink. Sometimes when you see animals off in the distance, you can think it's one thing, and a lot of the times it's not. Like, especially if you say looking for, say for instance, like cheetah in a nice big open grassland, and you're scanning, and you often will see a termite mound, and it definitely looks like there's something on that termite mound, and you'll drive up to the termite mound, and I wouldn't say 9 times out of 10, but maybe 6 or 7 times out of 10, it will just be a termite mound where you think that there might be a cheetah on there. Just because you are looking for cheetah, that's what your mind will be playing tricks on you. But yeah, we've got a whole parade of zebras coming down to the water to join us. Jamie saying hello from Pretoria. Good morning to you. Thanks very much for joining live at the Waterhole. Daisy, you really enjoy watching the animals come down the pathway or the game trail. It is quite nice to see them all using that prominent game trail and coming down, and it's quite incredible. There must be like 30 zebras that are coming down to drink. I don't know if they got the memo, but World Zebra Day was about a week ago. Yeah, it's crazy amounts. Hey, 40, morning to you. You're looking forward to see what we can find today. I'm also excited. Uh, Monday, it's a new start, fresh start. You never know what's going to surprise us today. Victor, you're asking me what my most memorable sighting at this waterhole was. Um, to be honest with you, Victor, the most memorable sighting here at Jamala was there was a massive herd of elephants. The herd was probably 50, or maybe 40 or 50 elephants, and they came down to the waterhole and they were literally swimming and playing around in the waterhole for about an hour, maybe just over an hour. So that was quite incredible. That's one of the sightings that sticks out for me.
We are bringing you a new and improved fan favorite. We have unearthed the finest gems from over the years in our archives to give you hours of amazing entertainment. Hop on the largest safari vehicle in the world and revisit the best of Wild Earth with epic moments from eco-training Pride Lands, memories from Madikwe, and more. Reconnect with your favorite naturalists and animal characters with the best of Safari Live. Wild Earth, connecting with nature.
It's also always nice to see quite a lot of youngsters um, within the herd. And a lot of people might wonder how these youngsters distinguish their mother. Maybe it's scent, maybe they just look and they know. But I've read a couple of articles, and it's often said that the zebras, the foals, or they'll use the pattern on the mom's shoulders. So at her shoulders, she's got quite a distinct pattern, and that's apparently um, how the youngsters will distinguish which mother is theirs. I've also thought about it many a times and thought to myself, goodness, so like if there's, say for instance, this herd, if the youngster loses mom, does it have to go to every single individual and look, okay, that's not her, not her, not her, oh, there she is. So I don't know exactly how that would work, but that's what all the articles do say. Dottie Gillespie saying good morning to your fellow watchers. Thank you for the narration. It's only my pleasure. You hope everybody has a wonderful day and you love the channel. And wow, the zebras. Thanks very much, Dottie, for your support. I do appreciate that. And yeah, very incredible to see all these zebras coming down to drink here at Jamala. Leopard lover, it does seem like it is a scorcher in Perth. He's saying it's 43 degrees Celsius. Please try and stay indoors. Stay a little bit, or stay out of the sun. Turn that aircon right down. And then you're saying, hi, Chad. I hope a leopard needs a drink today and makes an appearance. Leopard lover, I wouldn't say no to a leopard. I have had luck with one leopard before at Rosie's Pan. So you never know. Maybe today's the day. Pierre Dubois, you saying so many zebras. Which subspecies? Birchals. So this is the Birchals or the plain zebra that we see in here. You wouldn't get the other species in this area. I think a little bit further north from Madikwe, that's when you'll then start to get the mountain zebra. And then up into East Africa, the other species of zebra. But it's the plains and Birchal zebra are the same zebras. Leopard lover, you said, Roger that, Chad. 19 degrees Celsius inside and only leaving the house to walk your dog. Also, when you do leave the house to walk your dog, make sure it's a lot cooler than 43 degrees Celsius outside. You wouldn't want the dog's paws to get burnt. Unless you've got cute little shoes for your dog, then you can take him out, I'm sure. Leopard lover, you asking, do I know if there's much difference in the thickness of the big cat's paw pads? To be honest with you, I don't know, but I can only imagine that, like, say, for instance, a lion is little bit thicker compared to a cheetah or a leopard, just because it also is carrying quite a lot more weight compared to the leopard and the cheetah. But I think they are very similar. They're very similar, like in texture and things like that. But I'm sure the thickness just is a lot more on a lion compared to a leopard. We seem to always have these two male impalas around here. I don't know if they are the exact same ones that are always here, but it could be. And I'm sure these two are just trying to eat and drink as much as possible because it is starting to, or it is coming to the season, the rutting season. So where the impalas will fight for females. So they want to be at their biggest and at their strongest when they have to then try and fight for females. So literally all they're going to do is spend their whole day or the next couple of weeks feeding and drinking as much as possible to grow as big and strong as possible in order to try and take over a harem. And I mean, impalas, they also tend to always look in good condition. They're also one of the antelopes that are mixed feeders, so they can feed on both leaves and grass. So they're browsers and grazers. So if there's not too much grass around, they're able to then feed on leaves. If there's not many leaves around and there's grass, then they're able to feed on the grass. So it is one of the benefits of being an impala. Whereas, say, for instance, something like a kudu is only a browser. So they'll only feed on the leaves from the trees. I think we're going to change up locations. Let's leave Jamala. Let's head up to Ukuguyo and see what's happening there. Welcome to Ukuguyo, which is in Namibia in Etosha National Park, where we're joined by a beautiful herd of oryx, or Some people might know them as gemsbok. You can see they've waded a little bit into the water to try and get the freshest water. But how beautiful are these antelopes? Very, very different to anything we do see at the other locations. It's always nice to see different things. Kim, you're asking what other antelope come to this waterhole. So, I mean, I've seen here oryx, impala. No, sorry, I haven't seen impalas. Oryx, springbuck, um, red hartebeest. Those are probably like the three main antelope that will come down to drink here. I've also seen Kim giraffes come down to drink here at Okuguyo. And Jason, you're wondering how other antelope species attract females for mating if impala have a rutting season. So, um, Jason, the thing is, so impalas, they have that rutting season because the females, they only come into estrus once a year. So it's at that specific time. It's somewhere around March or April. Whereas a lot of the other antelope species will go into estrus at any time of the year. So, like say for instance, like impalas, wildebeest, and warthogs, they often will all mate somewhere around about April. But like Inyala or Kudu, they have young throughout the year. So different females will go into estrus at different times of the year. So they don't necessarily have to then have a rutting season. It's sort of all year round they'll be fighting for females, if that does make sense. Olivia, and you're saying black-faced impala is seen here too. So I've never seen a black-faced impala here, but I'm sure you're correct on that idea. And then you're saying, but springbuck much more common. Yeah, springbuck are definitely very common around this area at Ukubuyo. So I'd say springbuck and then oryx are the two most common ones. So we're gonna leave Okabuya for now. It seems like those oryx have headed off from the water. Why don't we head over to Juma and see what's happening there? I'm sure this isn't what everybody was expecting to see at Juma, but if you have a look, oh, there's some dragonflies landing on the dung of this elephant, but this is actually the dung from an elephant, and those are all marula fruits. A couple of the times we've been speaking about the marula season or the fruiting season, and so those are what those marulas look like, what the elephants often like to feed on during the summertime. And I mean, you can see some of them are broken up, some of them are still literally intact. And it's just because the elephants don't have a very good digestive system. So, I mean, they probably only digest about 30 or 40% of what they eat. The rest literally will just pass through their digestive system. So you might even get other animals coming to dung like this to feed on seeds and maybe even feed on the marula fruits from the elephant dung. I've seen it often. Monkeys or baboons will often do it. They'll feed on the elephant dung. Danny, you're saying cool to see this dung so close. It is really cool to just have a look at the dung. And then France, you're asking, will dung beetles use this dung too? They will indeed, France. So there's lots of different dung beetles. So I mean, there's lots of dung beetles that will use different dung. So, like for instance, there's dung beetles that will use predator dung. So, like lions, leopards, cheetah, things like that. They'll roll that. Then there's other dung beetles that will roll the bigger dung. So, buffalo, rhino, elephant, and then there's dung beetles that will also then roll like antelope dung. So there's lots and lots of different species of dung beetles. And as soon as we did cross, I saw the dung was moving. This marula, like at the bottom right of the screen now, it was moving a little bit, and so I thought there might have been a dung beetle that was there. And there's also different types of dung beetles. So I mean, some dung beetles will roll a ball out of the dung and then roll it away and wait for a female to latch onto that dung ball and then lay her egg inside there. There's some dung beetles that will actually burrow in underneath the dung. So they'll make a little hole underneath the dung, take the dung down there, and then let the female lay her egg inside there. There's also some quite lazy dung beetles that will spend time around the dung, wait for a dung beetle to roll a perfect ball and then steal it. So you definitely could find dung beetles around this dung. And I think we've had a nice close look at this dung. So why don't we head back over to Jamala, see what's happening. So we are now back at Jamala, the elephant bull that's come down to drink. And having a look at this elephant, I think it might be the same elephant that we saw yesterday. If you just have a look at his tusks, the one broken off, and then the one closest to us is still perfectly intact. If I'm not mistaken, it does look like the same elephant that was here yesterday. And some people were asking yesterday if elephants will use the same routes and go to the same water holes over and over again. And I said not really. But you might just find that this area around Jamala, there's, this water source, and there might not be too much water elsewhere. So what elephants will do, especially a bull, that might not be big enough to fight for females, they'll often hang around the same area. So he might drink here, move away, feed, and then come back, and drink, and then move away and come back. So that's why we might be seeing this elephant bull quite a lot around this water hole.
Out in the wild, life moves fast. To capture the action, you've got to be in the right spot at the wrong time. Now, incredible animal behavior, selected from amazing amateur and professional footage, to reveal the secret lives of animals in motion. This is raw nature, caught in the act.
Daniela, you're saying it looks like that other tusk is broken. Yeah, it definitely is broken. So yesterday, Daniela, we were chatting about how that tusk may have broke. Um, it could have broken from a number of things, but the two most likely things are from it feeding. So they'll often use their tusk to push down trees or to break the bark um, from trees to get into the inner cambium layer. But most likely, I would say it's probably come from a fight. So fighting another elephant bull, even maybe play fighting, it could have broken off. It really just depends. But those are some of the potential things um, that could have happened to this elephant. There we get in a nice close-up view of that broken tusk. And so, I mean, it doesn't look like for now that tusk is like hurting the elephant at all or anything like that. Sometimes if a elephant's tusk breaks a little bit further into the mouth, then what you'll see is the elephant will often like almost pick up dirt and try and put the dirt inside that little hole to try and mask the pain. And there was a specific elephant when I was working on a reserve that broke its tusk, and we knew it with two tusks, and then the next day we saw it only had one. And like a month later or so, this elephant was incredibly aggressive towards all the vehicles and things. And like if we saw him from 200 meters away, he would almost like look at the vehicle and start running towards you. So like if a ranger saw him on game drive, we'd radio it in and say, stay away from this area. And so it did become quite dangerous. And so what happened is we got the vet in and we darted the elephant and took a close look inside the tusk, or where the tusk goes. And it actually turned out that he had an abscess in his mouth from where the tusk broke, because only half of it broke and there was still like bits of tusk inside his mouth. And it turns out that he was aggressive because he was in so much pain. And so then what we did, we actually then woke him up and we organized a vet, or like a dental technician, you can call it. And they did the first ever like dental reconstruction in the bush on an elephant. And it took, I think, 3 or 4 hours for them to remove everything and to get it all back to normal. And they removed all the tusk and everything, and cleaned out the abscess. And for the next couple of days, he was still a little bit aggressive, obviously quite a bit of pain. But after that, he actually became quite a relaxed elephant. And so he was just in a lot of pain with that tusk having broken. And it's quite incredible to be there to witness that. Linda Campbell is saying it's almost 4 a.m. where you are. You can't sleep, but you're glad that you've got us to chat to. You love WildEarth. Thanks very much, Linda. Sorry that you can't sleep, but I'm glad we can chat to you and keep you a little bit entertained, nice and early in the morning.
This is On Safari. Now remember, this is live and interactive, so we'd love to hear from you.
To be having these incredible experiences in this wild underwater forest.
It was just one of those things which I don't think I'll ever see again in my life.
Thanks for joining us on our Sunrise Safari.
That zebra's got no tail. It's walking away from the water now. And so sometimes what happens is, zebras, when they fight, they've got a mean kick, but as well as a mean bite. And a lot of the time, the males, when they are fighting, for some reason, they'll often bite the tail off of another zebra. So that's why you might see zebras walking around with half a tail or no hair at the end of their tails. Fish and chips, you say, can justify his anger. 100%. There's literally nothing worse than having toothache. And like for us, I mean, we can feel, okay, we got a toothache, we can make a dentist appointment and go. But for these wild animals, it's tough to try and make a dentist appointment. So he's going to have to find another solution. But the reason that we did intervene is just it was getting to the point where it was dangerous for us guides, but also as well as guests driving into the lodges and that. So we had to intervene and just check what was going on. Jamie, you asking what diseases can elephants get? So I think elephants can get tuberculosis, so TB. Um, they can get foot and mouth disease, and then there's a couple of bacterial infections that they can get if like wounds and things like that do get infected. But a lot of the time they're quite clean animals, if that makes sense. Like they'll often throw water on themselves and things like that to try and flush out wounds and things like that. So I mean it's not too often that you do find elephants with diseases, but there are some diseases that they can get. Seems like we got another whole herd of zebras coming down. I really would love to know if there is like quite a big open clearing somewhere close by. That there's always so many zebras that come down to drink here. Because they always seem to come from the one side back to the waterhole and then go back the same direction that they've come. And if there is, I can only imagine that it must just be full of zebras and wildebeest in that area. Julia, you're saying so many of them. Yeah, it's quite incredible. I mean, we had that massive herd a little bit earlier on, and now another herd coming down to drink. That's why I was saying I really want to know what is sort of around this area, around Jamala, if there is quite a lot of open space for them. Danny, you asking do all antelope have the same digestive system? Just thinking now, but they do. So all the animals are they ruminate, so they're hindgut fermenters. Sorry, they're not hindgut fermenters, they're ruminant. So they've got 4 chambers to their stomach. I was getting a little bit mixed up there. So that means that they'll regurgitate their food to get all the necessary nutrients out of the food, and then they'll swallow it once again. So, I mean, like they'll often rest And while they're resting, that's when they'll regurgitate that cud ball and get all the necessary nutrients out of it and then swallow it again. You asking what noises do zebras make? They make very similar noises to horses. It's almost like a neigh, something like that. We'll keep a listen out and maybe we'll be able to hear them. So elephants definitely taking advantage of being the only elephant around here, because if there were other elephants, I'm sure he'd be either pushed out or the herd would come around him. He is really taking advantage of this opportunity.
Our march to freedom is irreversible.
We raise our hands and we say, we will be free!
Great mass of South Africans denied their humanity.
zebras also seem to be sticking around a little bit at the waterhole here at Jamala. They're also taking advantage of not being a big herd of elephants, because a lot of the time when there is a big herd of elephants that comes down, the other small animals almost get pushed away. I mean, they often move out of the way of the elephants and things like that. So I'm sure they're happy to be here where it's nice and peaceful. Not too many. Oh, there's only one elephant, but he's walking away for now. Yvonne, you're saying such beautiful stripes on them. I couldn't agree more. They are very, very beautiful. Huh? And you know what? It's always amazing. I love the stripes on their faces, but also like the way the black and white go into the mane. It literally, like, there's not one piece of hair that's out of place ever on zebras. It is quite incredible. That was a nice big yawn. Having a tough Monday as a zebra.
If you're hooked on Africam's live wildlife cams, then it's high time you joined Africam All Access. As a member, you'll be part of an exclusive pack with plenty of perks like uninterrupted, crystal clear streams, access to our chat feature, chances to flaunt your photo skills, and of course, exclusive content. Just head on over to Africam's YouTube channel and hit that join button to sign up for Africam All Access.
So I think for now we're gonna change it up. We're gonna head over to Okagoyo and see what's happening there. So we were chatting a little bit earlier about the antelopes that come down to Okagoyo to drink, and one of the most common ones that we are saying is the springbuck. We've got quite a number of springbucks here drinking now. Does look like it's an extremely hot day here up in Namibia. And I'm sure that's why there's a constant flow of animals coming down to drink. Also, quite a lot of crows that are making noise around the water here. Might be some food that's on the outskirts of the water. I mean, crows, they'll often feed on pretty much anything. So it is now 12:30, and it's a great time for us as we're able to welcome Africams on board. And just once again, thanks to Africams for allowing us access to all your beautiful locations throughout Southern and East Africa.